Okay, I want to show how we can use graphs to illustrate economic concepts. And we don't have to have data to prove which way a price will move after the market shifts. And we don't have to have data to show which direction the quantity will move, quantity demanded will move also. Okay, so what I'm showing you now is how to illustrate concepts in economics without data and without making a precise prediction of what the price will actually be, but only the general direction price will move or quantity. Okay, so we're going to start with the demand. And demand, as you know, is that when the price falls, the quantity increases. Or in other words, the price and quantity are inversely related. The opposite would be true. Price increases, quantity decreases. And that is other things being equal. So what that means is that there are a lot of things that cause demand for a product or service to shift. It could be the income of people. If there's a recession, the income of people drops because they get unemployed. That's going to shift demand, obviously. But that would be a shift in the demand curve. What this is the demand for a given situation. And if other things are equal, if I make a price move from one to another without all the other factors changing, then that's what will happen. I will get this. Economists like to focus on this because in the big picture, price is the number one biggest mover of the market. Okay, so that is our demand curve, always downward sloping. Okay, and I used a text box to go in there and put price in there and quantity in there. Text box, you find, this is an older version of Excel. You find it in shapes. You can find it on the newer versions too, but a text box would be right there. I just clicked on one. And I could put that text box anywhere I want. I could put anything I want in there. Okay, so I just want to show you how that works. All right, now let me move on to the supply curve then. Supply is a direct relationship between price and quantity, other things being equal. So of all the things that affect supply, one of the major things that affect supply are ingredients, things that people have to buy in order to make their product. When those are high, their prices have to be high, and when those are lowered, then their prices can be lowered. So supply, basically I've shown it here, price goes down, quantity goes down. And the inverse of that would be true also. So there's an inverse relationship between price and quantity with demand, and a direct relationship with supply. Now, that is other things being equal. Now we go to a supply curve and a demand curve put together on the same chart. Now we're going to be able to show what the price would be at equilibrium. So if we have a given demand curve and a given supply curve, where they intersect will be equilibrium. It will be the price that the market establishes. You hear this all the time. You've taken marketing courses, and they talk about, well, what is the market price? Well, the market price is the point at which the demand curve intersects the supply curve at that time. And the price will be set, and the quantity demanded will be set. Okay? Now, to illustrate further, let's say that we have a shift in a demand curve. Now we're talking about a shift that's not price related, but is uh, one of those other factors related. I talked earlier about a recession. If there's a recession, if this is your original demand curve, and there is a recession, people have less money in their pockets. Their demand for certain products will drop. And if you're selling something and you were able to get this price and sell these many, when that recession hits, your product could be sensitive to it, and you will have to lower your price to get this quantity right here. You'll be selling less, and you'll be selling them at a lower price. That's where equilibrium will now reside. And now what I showed here was I went up to the text box up here, and in shapes I was able to find an arrow, and I took that arrow and put it in right there. Okay? So now we'll move over to another situation, which is the supply curve moving. Everything increases in these shifts away from the origin, and decreases in these shifts go towards the origin. So here's demand originally, and it's shifting this way. So now it is moving closer to the origins. Therefore, the demand curve has diminished. Okay. Now here's the supply, and let's say that there's a invention made making it easier to pick tomatoes. If it would lower the ingredient cost of people who supply fruits and vegetables to supermarkets. So tomatoes suppliers would be willing to supply at a lower price. Okay, they're willing at different prices. They're willing to supply a different quantity. Because of this shift, the price goes from this point here in the market for tomatoes and it drops to this price right there, and the quantity increases from here over to here. Okay, so that's how this thing would work. So when you're asked a question in your homework or on a discussion forum or in a paper that you're writing, you want to show the dynamics of the market, what is happening. This is basically how you do it. And there's a discussion on this in your text, but that's how we use graphs. And the one thing I will add is that if you're interested in drawing your own graph, you could go to shapes and pick a line, and you hold the shift key down with your left hand and pull down with your right hand, and it'll lay a line down there for you. And then you can go back and pick another line and hold the shift key down, and you can go that way and get another line, and then with another placement of the left hand's holding the shift key down, I pull my line down, I get a demand curve, and then I go this way, and I hold the shift key down, and I move it this way, and I get a supply curve. I've created my own drawing. You can either do that or you can use these templates that I provided. Okay, so any answers to any papers, discussions, or any homework problems, you can use these templates if you want, and that should help you. You'll have to supply the text using text boxes, and you'll have to show these arrows, which way are they moving? Where was the original demand? Where was the new demand? Okay, where's the original supply? Where's the new supply? Okay, so good luck, and let me know if you have any questions.